anybody that says that any other driver from any other division could come into Formula One and just think that they could just dominate, no.
Yeah, no. Lance Stroll being
Lance Stroll.
the oddest character this weekend, getting in everyone's way, all the penalties, and somehow manages to pull off the only overtake the entire race.
Yeah.
Well,
but
the weekend there is a huge spectacle. Everyone's having such a great time. This is amazing. Celebrities are coming out. This is such a beautiful time. And then when you go to interview the drivers, they're just over it.
Yeah.
And it's juxtaposed to how they're feeling. It's just, it's weird. And there definitely something needs to happen.
Yeah. Oh, Max didn't go.
I know.
And he was just sim racing.
What a savage of a man.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Turn 14 Podcasts. We just finished wrapping up the Monaco Grand Prix. I know there's a lot to be said about this particular race weekend, but I'm excited to get into it, and
there's a lot to be said about
back.
Monaco.
Lando's back.
Lando is back, yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
No. I mean, it's let's just jump right into it because it was wild. Yeah. The most exciting part of it, obviously, is always qualifying.
It is a qualifying weekend.
But it was nuts. We saw Lewis take air. We saw some crashes. It was everything that you would expect from a Monaco, like practice and qualifying. So,
right.
That part at least was
lots of angry drivers getting in the way, all that kind of stuff. So it's
Lance Stroll being the oddest character this weekend. Getting in everyone's way, all the penalties, and somehow manages to pull off the only overtake the entire race.
Yeah.
Well, but we also got that Bortoleto overtake with Kimi. That's and Kimi coming back, which was actually that was a good overtake that Bortoleto did on that hairpin.
Because couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
But well,
anyway,
he shouldn't have expected Kimi to come right back on that. But I mean, exactly. Monaco. What needs to be said about Monaco? Overrated. I'm gonna just say that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a spectacle, and it's for the culture. Those are my words for Monaco.
Interesting. Okay.
Ooh, yeah. I have a lot to say. Especially as a new Formula One sort of fan, I understand the history behind it. I know, why everyone loves it, but it needs to go.
Yeah,
it's I don't see it working out. I think there's a big kind of flaw in Monaco that can't be fixed without completely changing the track. I don't think.
Yeah.
If they're not willing to do that, then we're done with it, I think. But
I think the issue has to do with the size of the cars. They're a lot bigger than they used to be back when Senna was driving and Jim Clark and all these guys. When Monaco was obviously now from back in the day to now, the cars have gotten so much bigger, which creates it makes it very difficult for anybody to really overtake, right? So I personally think I like Monaco. It's definitely a track where, at least during qualifying, that it really all comes down to skill and how you're driving on the edge. Literally, Oscar Piastri was kissing the wall, almost every corner. But I feel like this track brings out the skills, the actual, it's not about car performance, even though obviously in the straights McLaren is fast. However, it's about taking risk. How deep are you going to go into these corners that are non-forgiving? And I think that's what makes it exciting for a lot of people.
Right.
It's a qualifying race for sure.
Oh, for sure.
100%, and I get that. I'm hoping with the regulations in 2026, the cars are supposed to be slightly smaller or significantly smaller. I don't know.
Much smaller.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference, but I think the two-stop strategy, the mandatory two-stop rule is a start, right? you know, to creating some type of mix up. But I think again, we have people exploiting the rule. Well, not really exploiting it, but like taking event, like they're going like max win so long on those mediums.
No other choice but to wait for something stupid to happen.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people were waiting for a safety car to come out or a red flag to happen, because that happens a lot. But
Monaco is not a race. It's everything but a race. It's a fundraiser I put down. It's a business event. It's a social event. It's really just. It's a business event, if anything. Like I think it's not for racing, and it's everyone's obviously pissed about it.
So, with what you were saying, Mark, about the size of the cars, I don't think we're ever going back to smaller cars like
think so either.
When Monaco was in its peak. I think one of the things I like about F1 and kind of got me into it is that it's not all about the race. You know, there's lots of strategy involved. There's lots of driver skill, obviously, in terms of qualifying, and some luck obviously involved with how the race turns out. And I think that's awesome. I think it's like I said, it's what got me into F1. But 80% of Formula One is the race. Like, you have qualifying, sure, and there are lots of other tracks where like starting first is crucial, right? But it's not impossible to overtake anywhere else but Monaco. And without fixing that, I don't see any way for the race weekend to be interesting. I mean, qualifying is awesome. Everyone says it's like the best qualifying of the year, but it can't just end there.
Yeah.
And I think the two-stop strategy that was added this year, I think it helps. Obviously, one of the things for sure, it kind of keeps the people in the front pushing constantly, rather than just doing a stop and slowing down like the rest. But and maybe the forced two-stop can work on other tracks like Suzuka, right? That is hard to overtake, or anywhere else that is hard to overtake, but it's not impossible, right? That kind of forces some more strategy to it. But Monaco's just flawed.
Well, the thing you have so it's difficult because you have to see it from both sides, because when you ask the drivers, for instance, George Russell, who was absolutely pissed about it, and a majority of the drivers were kind of upset with how this turned out. That's one side of the coin. But then you ask Lando, who was like, I've been dreaming about this, and just like every other driver, I've been dreaming about racing here forever. I've been dreaming about winning here. So it's two different sides to look at. Like, obviously, it's definitely like historical, like traditional type thing. Yeah. But they need to do something about points there. They need to either. So I guess the question would be, what would you implement to the Monaco Grand Prix that can potentially make it a little bit more, exciting and worth the drivers?
Lego racing.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard.
George Russell.
That's for sure. You get more overtaking with that.
I know he was being sarcastic, but it was a really funny interview afterwards. He was just like, maybe every driver could just turn on a sprinkler, just randomly. You got one opportunity for like wet to happen.
That sounds crazy. That does sound crazy, but think about it. What if there was a way? I'm going straight like Mario Kart rules here. What if there was something that the drivers can potentially get randomly that can influence another driver, whether that's half a second or a second in the pits, or like I don't know, gets to open DRS in the second section of the race. You know what I mean? Like something weird like that. That could be a possibility. Or they need to implement points into the qualifying, I think.
Like more,
put points towards
that's valid.
Like split the points.
Do something about
between like the what is it, the 24, 25 you get for P1 in the race. Like cut that in half. Like you only got half
but then it's just, I think even George mentioned this a little bit too. He's like, why don't we just have qualifying Sunday or Saturday, qualifying Sunday, and then that's your weekend? Like just do that at that point. Which it's weird to
like two qualifying.
Everyone's
sessions.
trying to find these little tricks to make this one track work.
Yeah.
When really, I just feel like when they go through all these regulation changes and all the cars have changed, that the tracks need to update along with them to account for it. And I think just I don't know how, and I don't know why I'm sure they've thought about it, but like adding some other spot on the track to overtake.
Yeah. Is it possible to make it bigger or wider, some of those areas? Like,
I don't know. I mean, you're limited on what the
It's embedded into the city.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
But then you're sacrificing like some of the grandstand areas, maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe shortening that a little bit, but then again, where would the fans sit?
Yeah.
It's tricky. I'm sure people have been looking into it for a long time. I think adding the two-stop rules a start to mixing things up. Maybe there's something different that they could implement to like not holding up the rest of the damn field behind you.
Yeah,
like
a
you could get like a
minimum
penalty.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Either you move out the way, like blue flags during qualifying, get out the way. If you are
Right.
for a lap or two holding up the back of the field, you should get blue flagged, and you need to maybe there's like you're required to like allow the car behind you to pass you.
Yeah.
If you have no pace, get out the way. Only for Monaco.
They do have pace. They just are slowing down because they can.
Yeah.
I mean, Max was on super old mediums
But maybe they should
for
be
the
a
longest
delta
time and
minimum.
I agree.
Matthew, maybe there's like
for sure.
like, and maybe only specific to Monaco, right? Where if you're below a certain delta, then there's a chance they either blue flag,
Get
or
out
if
the
you
way.
don't move, you get a penalty, a 3 second or a 5 second. I mean, I think 5 seconds is too harsh, maybe, but something needs to give to create more excitement. And with the strategies, as Albon was holding up the rest of the grid. George Russell at some point was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to cut I mean, that's a whole other conversation. It seemed like he was trying to avoid an incident, but, and he also got a drive through for that, which is, I can understand. His Mercedes was just over it.
It's so interesting because
Yeah.
the whole entire event and time, the weekend there is a huge spectacle. Everyone's having such a great time. This is amazing. Celebrities are coming out. This is such a beautiful time. And then when you go to interview the drivers, they're just over it.
Yeah.
And it's juxtaposed to how they're feeling. It's just, it's weird. And there definitely something needs to happen.
Yeah.
About
It's
that.
caught up in the history of it all. That's the only reason it's still on the, in F1 at this moment. Like, and they signed a long contract. I think their Monaco's going to be on until like 2030 something or whatever. So they'll need to figure something out.
Yeah.
Well,
It's above our pay grade.
Force it to rain.
The exciting part was quali and seeing McLaren do the back-to-back hot laps.
Yeah.
I thought that was
a smart strategy.
incredible, which
awesome.
brings to mind, like, what did they do? Did they reserve ERS? Did they keep, did they hold back? Or
Fuel levels, maybe?
Is it just that short of a race that you don't necessarily can use all of your ERS or whatever the case is? But they were able to pull it off, and that was insane. I had Charles winning every single day for the entire weekend, and right at the end, I thought it was it. I bet on him. He lost right at the end, which was crazy. I was like, wow. Not even by a little bit, by a whole tenth or two, which was insane.
Yeah. I mean, a new Monaco record too. I mean, for that 109.
That
was awesome.
McLaren was smart with their strategy on qualifying, and it was really impressive to see Ferrari up there. Obviously, like, Leclerc is so fast around that track, like so fast. Like, that guy is just obviously it's his home race and all, but even Lewis was fucking gunning it. He was doing great, and I think if they followed that two hot lap strategy, I think they would have probably been up there. Ferrari was doing so well, and it was nice to finally see them fighting up there. But I think
Ferrari was being
Lewis
Ferrari.
got a taste. Lewis got a taste of Ferrari's
That was
thing,
just crazy.
and it doesn't end. It must be so hard being like a Ferrari fan, just like
That cannot
going
happen.
through this roller coaster of a season.
That cannot happen. Like, there's no way that could happen. And Lewis I'm sure he was pissed about this.
This has been happening all season.
Yeah.
And it's for it to be so clear to like us just watching, like I don't get why this guy is still around as his engineer. I think
Yeah. For those
It
that
cost
don't know.
it cost Lewis
Yeah.
a potential
Absolutely.
podium
Absolutely.
Yeah.
for nothing. And
So
Yeah.
for anybody that doesn't know, during qualifying, if we're talking about that, I mean, there was a couple other things that happened, obviously during the race and whatnot. But I think particularly to Lewis, his engineer told him, Max is on it. That first Max was doing a hot lap, and then
Yeah.
that he slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
So Lewis decided to take the corner on the line, the race line, which Max was gunning for, and then Max had to get out the way. Lewis had no idea, but that's just a lack of proper communication between
yeah,
the race engineers to the driver, because you could barely see who's coming in Monaco, especially from them sitting so low and it being such a narrow track and a lot of blind corners. So they rely heavily on their engineer to let them know when cars are coming by. And this guy just, I don't know if he's just super I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't.
Yeah.
I miss Bono.
I miss Bono. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was tough because obviously Lewis was clearly like just the littlest things that obviously it could have been an accident, but also like it cost him a 3-place grid penalty, and he was doing great that weekend too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, again, how something like that happens. I've said it in the past episode, there needs to be a way for them to either get someone, like a new engineer or something. Because if we continue to let this happen, it's just, this is only, race number 9 or whatever the case is, 10?
Or 8.
No, we're on 8, yeah.
So we have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're still learning to communicate, but my goodness, like, when is this going to change? Because this is...
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super unacceptable. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. Hajar, up there, our boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
excited for
RB
him.
did great.
They did real good.
RB did
They
great.
played it well.
They took advantage of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lawson
like
was a
so
great team
much.
player too. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got, I think, his first points of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is talking about, like, maybe the rookies. I mean, what's his name? Who just came into Alpine?
Oh, Franco
Colapinto.
Colapinto. Yeah.
We need to see something from him.
Yeah.
We're not seeing anything yet.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's Monaco. It's I don't think. Wait, hold on. Before we even go into it, 1 second. I don't know if you guys saw the Formula 2 crash that happened in the first corner.
Yeah.
I
The
did.
pileup
Yeah.
that happened,
Yes.
and then with the Porsche race that also
Yeah.
happened. It is crazy to see the difference in skill set from the guys that are essentially just. We have a whole grid of rookies that are all trying to go for Formula One, and then we have a completely different motorsports like division, the Porsche GP, and all of them pile up turn one. Meanwhile, you have Formula One guys. These guys, this is what I'm saying about the skill set that these guys have.
Yeah.
How they were able to take turn one without a single incident, without hitting anybody.
And Lando locked up, too.
And Lando locked. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I
That's
just...
scary.
Anybody that says that any other driver from any other division could come into Formula One and just think that they could just dominate, no.
Yeah.
No way. I think it's completely different thing, but it was surprising to see that pile up that happened. I'm happy everybody was okay, but still, it's just mind blowing. The difference
Well,
between.
thankfully, they're going a little bit slower. I'm not going to say slow, but they are definitely going slower.
Yeah.
It's
But there's
also-
even more of a reason not to crash.
Yeah.
yeah. It's also like a crash in F1 costs probably 10 times as much as a
true.
crash in
Yeah.
F2 or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It is crazy. But Monaco is also hectic. That first turn is the opportunity, and so everyone's going for it. But
What areas are people, are the most likely areas to overtake in Monaco?
Well, turn one for sure.
turn one,
The hair.
chicane.
I think
Yeah.
the hairpin.
The hairpin.
Okay.
Yeah. That hairpin where Bortoletto overtook Kimi, but then Kimi got him right back right before the tunnel. I don't know the turn number, but I would say hairpin, turn one, that hairpin, and then that corner going in to the tunnel,
Yeah.
like right after,
Yeah.
is another opportunity for people to overtake.
Yeah.
Like Kimmy dive bombed in,
Yeah.
and we could go into that too. I know we're going to just kind of talk about the rookies, but like Bortoletto and Kimmy, like Bortoletto overtaking during the hairpin was a great opportunity, but then Kimmy got it right back.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought Kimmy pushed him off.
No.
But no, he didn't.
I don't think so. He needs to
I don't think he
expect
did.
that.
No.
That's
Yeah.
coming, especially after.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good move.
So
That was
it's
good.
just a weird thing with F1 in general. It's like anytime something happens, it almost feels like soccer. Like they have to kind of fake it out. Like, oh, you pushed me off.
Yeah.
Like, do something.
Yeah.
No, okay, I tried.
But at the
Like,
cost of the cost of you damaging your car is like not even worth it. So I just think
oh, yeah.
I just think he wasn't expecting Kimmy to come right back and just kind of like
for
took him
sure.
off guard.
Yeah.
But
But
and I think another overtaking spot would be like right out of the tunnel. That one that everybody keeps.
Yeah.
yeah, right before
Hitting
the big chicane, the
Yeah.
bathtubs.
This
Yeah.
where Gasly absolutely rammed Yuki and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
first of all,
Yeah.
I don't know why he kept driving. I thought they were going to call a safety car on that.
I think his thought was like, if I could get the car back,
Fair.
it will just help. But then again, like if he would have just left it there, it could have created more excitement too, because then a
Yeah.
safety car would need to come out and all that,
Yep,
and then
yep, yep.
Yeah.
you would get free pits.
I mean, it was weird. It was weird because like obviously, yeah, he could drive it back to the pits. But his front wing was still on the road for
Yeah.
a long time, and there was no safety car
Not even
at all. Not even a VSC.
Oh no, that's right.
Um,
They cleared it ahead of time.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I feel like that would have been
That would have been exciting.
another like moment.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was
exciting
waiting
moment,
for it to
but-
happen. I was like, okay, this is gonna spice things
Yeah.
up, but no, he's dragging
weird
his
thing
fucking
happened.
car, leaving pieces all over the place. Like, come on.
Max
Anyway,
almost overtook Oscar right when
Right,
that
right when
happened.
that
in that
happened
same
too,
race.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
I'm gonna take this moment. You slowing down.
Yeah.
You don't have to slow down right after this, and I'm just about to go after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max is a savage.
It
He is
seems
a
like
savage.
like that turn after the chicane, right where his crash was. I feel like that seems like it's also a potential spot for overtaking.
Yeah.
But there's
Is that the pool or the?
just barely.
Oh,
I think so.
no, the pool's the other. It's that other like straight.
It's that
chicane,
one
the
where they
two
film and they just go
Yeah,
like this.
yeah,
That is
Yeah,
That
yeah,
you
Insane.
can't overtake. That.
that's insane.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's where Lewis took off right after the chicane. Well, right at the chicane where he took off,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which was surprising.
If you just see how close these guys get to the rails
Yeah.
on the wheel, it is nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love those shots.
I love those shots too.
slow mo.
Oh, yeah.
The freaking rails like bending in.
Yeah.
I love that.
Your tires just touching it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was going to mention another rookie, Behrman, kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
again this time.
Oh yeah.
Down to the red
Back to back weeks where he just gets
I know.
unlucky, unfortunately.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
Well,
what
I
to do
think
with that,
he was. I think this was during one of the practice sessions, and
Mhm.
I don't know why the red flag came out, but he was going too fast. Didn't feel like he could stop behind signs, and
Yeah.
decided to go past him. And they were like, "Yeah, no,
They slammed him for
10
what,
place
10
grid
place.
penalty.
That's crazy.
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy."
It didn't look like he did it maliciously. I mean, he's driving 100 plus miles an hour. Give the fucking guy a break. Like, my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
I don't think he saw it. Even the commentators were like, where was the red flag? Like
Yeah.
the red
No,
flag
no,
flashing. But
He saw it. He even mentioned after that, like, he was going just so fast that he felt it was more dangerous to just slam on the brakes to stay behind Carlos
Yeah.
rather than just slow down and safely pass him. But
Yeah.
that's the weird part with all of this. It's like sometimes like sticking to the rules, like it makes sense, and like people can get upset about some things, but
Yeah.
other times I don't know why they are so strict on some stuff. It doesn't seem like it affected anyone, but
I mean, the rules are
Who knows?
rules.
Who knows?
You know,
That's true. I mean, you
And-
got.
Yeah.
You
until they decide to do whatever the hell they want,
can, yeah,
and
pretty much.
look,
I did
get
hear.
2021.
Well, I mean, that's the FIA. Speaking of the FIA, I think we mentioned this last time. I think it's becoming even more and more serious that Carlos Sainz's dad is going to be putting in for it, which would,
Oh, really?
which would be ideal. I mean, I've already seen another article, 2 or 3 articles now.
you should.
that mention it.
I think everybody's starting to. I think all the drivers are over this whole thing because like they're cursing like Alonso.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Yeah, Alonso was so pissed that week.
Love it.
Or Alonso.
Yeah, this is such a bad season for him, but I'm hoping. I think again, like we were saying, he's just looking forward to 2026. You know,
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
Adrian Newey showing up for the first time in Aston Martin gear, which was like a super big highlight for everybody
Yeah.
because now and then him realizing like, oh my god, like there's a lot of work to do with Aston Martin. You know,
Yeah.
they're back in the
I
factory.
think they're gonna
all that.
just like, because the last place championship or constructors championship get the most time in like the wind tunnel for the next season.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just banking on that. Newey's like, I need all the time to fix this, please.
Wait, say that again. Who gets the most time in the wing tunnel?
The last place in the constructors gets the most time in the wind tunnel.
Oh,
So
that's a little bit of a slap in the face. Like, yeah, you guys suck. Just here's a little extra time. Just get your shit right. Cause
So they're in competition with Kick Albert.
yeah, oh my
Yeah.
god,
Oh no.
it's not working. I'll tell you that.
Jesus
Not
Christ.
enough time.
Yeah.
well, that's. I mean, do we think Ferrari or anyone else is going to keep trying at this point
I think so.
for the rest of the season? Or
I think so. They're supposed to. So they got like slight upgrades in Imola, from what I understand, but there's supposed to be more coming in Barcelona.
Flexi one is going bye bye, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
I think it's Barcelona, right? It's like done.
Yeah.
But
it's the next race, yeah.
the next race. So I think Ferrari. It was they did it from Miami to Imola. I think there was a performance jump, and now with Monaco, as we could see, I think a lot of that has to do with just the track itself. But
hard to
I feel
tell.
like Lewis and Charles look very comfortable in that Ferrari when they've been complaining about the car since the beginning of the season. So I'm thinking, I believe Ferrari's supposed to have some upgrades coming in Barcelona, and then Barcelona is like a race car, like a track. It's like a driver's track. Like they absolutely enjoy it. It's a really well designed track too, and typically the preseason testings used to happen in Barcelona. So a lot of the drivers are very familiar with it. So I think there's a lot that could be extracted after this race. I hope Ferrari continues, not just giving up, because look what happened last year after Miami. It was Max just winning, and then boom, everybody else started winning. So I don't know. I'm hoping that Ferrari keeps going. We all know Red Bull Max is going to continue to push that car, and he's going to continue to fight. And that's the one thing I really love about him.
Okay.
He's just like, even though I have like the third fastest car, or the second fastest car, like I don't give a shit. I'm going to continue to like push this car to its absolute max. Yeah. Yeah. And just try to extract as much as I can from this car, because he doesn't give a fuck. He wants to get that fifth title.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Yuki's not helping right now. I'm sad to say it, but I'm not really seeing anything coming from Yuki. So that's giving Isaac an opportunity to kind of shine a little bit.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Not.
I've predicted it before.
I know.
It happened.
I'm just afraid of him going to the Red Bull seat and getting the curse of the second seat.
Yeah, I think that's what Yuki's going through right now. But he's doing so much better than Lawson. But I just think Red Bull, as we all know, needs to. I think they're kind of banking on the next year. The regulations change. Hopefully, things reset.
Yeah.
But
it makes it easier for the drivers.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Mark, about maybe I'm being a bit too harsh.
Early.
Like,
we have
just saying,
23
like, people,
races.
Yeah, like it is still early, and I think with the flexi wing changes, we'll see how that levels things out. But also, I think Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull like within 10 points of each other for second place in the constructors, and so I think until maybe that gap widens up, we won't be seeing any of them kind of give up on the year, and put all their money till next year. But we'll see. I'm hoping it stays like this all year, and we get some battles for for the rest of the season. But
Yeah, I hope so too.
Lando's coming back, and that battle in the front's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm honestly really happy Lando won. I mean, it would have been nice for Charles Leclerc to win, but like it's something about Lando. Like I've been watching him race for so long, and like to finally see him win his first race in Miami when he went, and like he's starting to win races now. And the beginning of the season hasn't been obviously that great for him because of a lot of, you know, honestly, he's his worst enemy. But I think this was honestly a really big confidence booster for him. Obviously, he got that under the belt, a Monaco win, and I think it's good to see him back up there. You know, it's still anybody's championship.
Yeah.
It really is.
It showed a lot. I mean, to see Lando come back in quali and absolutely like blow Charles Leclerc. Because when I see like more than a tenth away, I think that's like he really got them.
Yeah.
And for him to do that after Charles was leading all weekend, just showed how good of a driver he is. And he just needs to bring that to every other race, and I think he's gonna be great.
And a lot of, again, like McLaren did great with that strategy during qualifying because those tires, the C6 tires, are not easy to like get the proper operating window on them. And I think, you know, going that extra lap really brought out the actual performance of those tires, which like it just, and the ways, from my understanding, like McLaren, they have a very clever way of cooling their brakes that a lot of the other teams were like protesting. I think Red Bull was protesting it, and then the FIA and the stewards are like, no, like they're within regulation, like they're good. So, but I think that this has been a thing with McLaren since last year. Their tires and the brake temperatures, they figured something out that their tires and brakes don't overheat as quickly as the other teams. But I think doing that 2 hot lap strategy really worked because, as we all know, you were talking about before, the C6 tires they're tricky.
Yeah, it's really like tricky. They kind of suck in the beginning, which you think they would be the fastest, but apparently they get better as it kind of wears down a little bit, which is strange because everyone was struggling. In fact, I think someone out-qualified someone with medium tires. Or, I don't know. They just put a faster time in with medium compared to the C6, but after a while, as we saw, it just
they come alive.
Quicker. They come alive.
Yeah.
They do What I am concerned though about Lando is, yes, he's quick, and I think he showed how quick he can be. But there was moments where Charles was right on his ass, and I'm afraid once it starts getting to the point where he needs to start defending and things like that, like he also needs to show that skill set.
Yeah,
'cause that's the only way to win championships.
We'll see that in the next coming races, I think.
Yeah, and we have Barcelona, right?
Yeah, we have Barcelona next.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, that's the end of the triple header that we're currently in right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, overall, I think Monaco, it's just more of a spectacle for the fans and the culture. It doesn't seem like the drivers are very happy with how, unless you finish top of that podium, you're not going to be very happy with how things turned out. Again, they were promoting the F1 movie. They were promoting like all of this other stuff.
I love how Max didn't go.
I know.
And he was just sim racing.
What a savage of a man that guy is. He really is. He does his own thing and lives in his own world.
He really does. He really does, man. And
no reason.
Yeah, he's just like, why, if it's not mandatory, why am I gonna go? I just had a baby and just want to sim race.
Had a kid. Yeah.
Are you gonna go see the F1 movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we should plan a time where we can go.
We need to go.
Yeah. Matthew, you plan on going to see that like relatively soon?
Oh yeah. Day one for me. I'll try to get whatever big screen theater over here I can find.
Yeah. New York City has the,
I don't know.
In Lincoln Center, they have the big IMAX.
We could go watch it there.
We can go watch it there.
That's
all right.
Sick.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the guy that made Maverick, right?
Yeah.
So,
same director. Yeah. I think what they did was pretty cool.
IMAX is the way to watch it. Yeah.
I want to see all of these drivers' movie debut. See if they're good actors.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be in it.
Mold.
You never know. I think there might be some like cameos, like at least walking in the background and something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They know they're on camera, so they have to act some type of way.
Ricardo's in it. at least a little bit.
I
I'm
think
hoping
he will
he'll be
be.
sick.
he gets a scene.
Danny-
Little goofy.
Danny Rick.
Yeah.
I feel like he would be the one driver to like have a line in a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But Lewis helped produce it. That's cool. I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting, and I love the fact that they're gonna expose this sport to so many new people.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they're doing this Maverick style filming,
Yeah.
where it's like that
Yeah.
director was pure, like the way he filmed that movie,
Yeah.
and it was all like in actual jets, no CGI,
No
no
bullshit,
green screens,
yeah.
no bullshit, and like I think it's pretty impressive, and I'm looking forward to that.
There's a lot of things coming out. We got the movie. We got F1 Academy coming out on Netflix.
That is going to be
Yeah,
exciting.
We have a lot of great things
Yeah.
happening for the summer, which is going to just amplify the
Yeah.
exposure to this sport. So
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
Been
the
waiting
F1
for
Academy.
F1 Academy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna
I'm
be
excited.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. It's cool because we're gonna see like from last year. So I don't think there's a couple of the girls there that are no longer on the grid, but it's just gonna be cool to see. I love that they're getting this exposure. Suzy Wolf obviously getting all this together and making it happen. I think if anybody could do it, Suzy can, and she has the backing of like everybody on F1, which is awesome. And you know, I think hopefully this inspires more women to get into motorsports. I feel like it's already growing.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we're
Yeah.
starting to see more and more and more of this happening. But I think outside of just being involved as like an influencer or like a content creator, I think getting them like young women to aspire to be drivers, I think is going to be really cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, drivers are one thing, but just into the sport in general,
Yeah.
like engineering or marketing or just kind of being exposed to this whole new world, I think is something that is always a great thing and it's always a positive. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting.
so what do we have?
sure.
What do we have next?
What did you guys say? Barcelona's
I
next?
think so. Spain,
As far-
no flexi wing. Things
Yeah.
are going to look a little different.
Yeah.
Some upgrades are coming. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I remember Barcelona from last year. Is that where Max and Lando like collided?
No, that's Austria.
Yeah, that was at
That was
the
a
Red
Red Bull
Bull.
ring.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's also one of my favorite
I see.
racetracks. I can't wait
it's
until we get that. I love that
Yeah.
racetrack.
That's a really long one too, right?
No,
Versus
so
the,
it's actually one of the shorter ones, but it's I think you might be thinking about Spa.
That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking
yeah.
about, Spa.
Spa's the longest.
Spa, yeah.
That's gonna be nuts. But Barcelona is a good track. Again, it's a driver's racetrack. All the drivers have practiced on this track. They've raced this track, even the rookies. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of action, a lot of overtaking. They've changed the layout towards the last like chicane going into the straight. I think they did that last year, so it's they're going to be going around those corners a lot faster than
Sweet.
traditionally back like a couple years ago. So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited to see what happens with this whole flexi wing ban, or like if this is going to slow down McLaren, or other teams going to be able to like catch up now. You know, there's Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari have an opportunity now because those McLarens are insanely fast on the straight. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do we want to go into predictions yet?
Well, we can.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh man.
I think Ferrari has proven that they might be able to come and like participate in the top three.
Yeah.
So I think Lewis. I'm pulling for Lewis. I think Lewis would be up there. I'm definitely going to say McLaren. I would probably with this high. I'm going Lando, and then I'm gonna say Max because I think at this point Max needs to just be always up there.
Yeah. He's always.
But I do have some. I have some faith that Ferrari might turn things around, especially with how they performed this past weekend.
Yeah. Matthew?
Yeah. Yeah. I really am like I like Ferrari. Like obviously I think everyone does. I'm hoping that they can pull it together, and I think it'd be awesome to see Lewis take a a win this in an actual race
Not a sprint
this
race.
year. And
Yeah.
yeah, not a sprint. Yeah, and so that would be awesome. And honestly, I'm just hoping Lando can get ahead of Oscar this round and put some pressure. At least we can get some back and forth going because he's only 3 points off.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
um,
I think he will.
and then Max is Max. I think I saw something recently. He's been like on and off the podium for the past like few races, just and so I expect him to jump back up, but I need to see what happened kind of last year around here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know too much about the Barcelona track, but
Yeah. You guys are gonna like it. It's a really good track, I think. I think we're gonna have a Lando, Oscar, Max top 3.
Fair.
As much as I want Ferrari to be up there, just think unless they get the strategy and engineering stuff like figured out, I don't know. I don't get my hopes up with Ferrari. I don't.
Yeah.
But I think I feel like Lando's gonna probably get P1, Oscar, and Max is gonna be right there with him, and then Ferrari. Or I mean, the one team that's also been doing really well, that Mercedes, George Russell, Kimi Antonelli, they've been great. I mean, freaking Williams too, but yeah. Let's see. I think my top 3 are definitely gonna be Lando, Oscar, Max, though, for sure.
I mean, Charles is my favorite driver. I'm not a Ferrari fan, but Charles is my favorite driver. I just pull for them because I feel bad for them. I just they need a break. I feel like they just need help. They need some sense of encouragement because my goodness, it's just if you think you've seen it all, then something like Monaco happens and it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I hope something comes through for them.
Yeah. I will add to what you were saying, Mark, though. I think Williams has been unbelievable this year, and I just want them on the podium at
that would be sick.
like sometime this year. It'd be awesome. I think next year I'm looking forward to rooting for them. And but I don't know. I think you're right, Ben, with Ferrari too. It's just kind of it's weird. It's weird. I think I mentioned this before that they kind of get some like legacy money no matter what happens, and maybe you need to just stop that. Give them some fucking motivation to.
Oh yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe
do something.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Ferrari just needs to. I think this season is a big wake up call to the guys back in the factory and like the guys that run Ferrari. I don't think Fred much because I know he knows, and I feel like he's where Ferrari was before with the old team principal to where they are now. It's a huge difference, but where they were prior to all that too, they were like when Sebastian Vettel was racing for them, when Alonso was racing for them, like they were winning championships. So, I mean, it's been a long time since they've won a constructors or a driver. So I'm a big Lewis Hamilton fan, as you all know already. And I think with both Lewis getting on their ass about things and now their star driver like Charles has been super frustrated, I think they have no choice but to make shit work.
Yeah.
Because if things don't work, Charles Leclerc might just start looking elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton doesn't have many races, like many more seasons in him too. So it's like, what's going to happen, right?
What are they going to... Yeah.
So it's like, has it been hurting Charles staying there? Who knows? I don't think so, but it's like, he's starting to get very frustrated with the car, especially off the high that they had last season. Because they could have won. They came in second place for the constructors. They could have won. But, you start off that and you come in and now you're like, what?
Yeah.
Third, fourth, I think now.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's again, we still have a lot of racing to go for the rest of the season, for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
anything could happen. Regulation changes coming up. Well, not regulation, but the bans on like the flexi wing,
Yeah.
upgrades, new engines. People could swap out their engines. They still probably have so many allocated for the season that they haven't done yet. Let's see. I'm excited.
Yeah. I think you're right about Charles. So like, I think he's been doing great in his time in Ferrari, but I think he has a higher ceiling than we've been able to see. And I think it's starting to become clear that might be because of Ferrari. And so time will tell, obviously. I think there's going to be a lot of driver swaps happening, a lot more than I may have thought, especially if Max isn't able to pull off this championship and he starts talking to other people about shit, and we'll
see. Yeah, could be an interesting next couple years.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
That's it. Let's wrap it up.
I think that's everything. Thank you guys for watching our little recap spiel about Monaco. A lot of like hot takes. I think, it was a very interesting weekend, but something needs to be done about Monaco, as we all know. Let's maybe bring back them Lego cars, the sprinklers, George Russell again. It's for the people.
Let us know. Let us know your thoughts. What should they be doing to Monaco to make this more exciting? Would you add something, take away something? Like, what are your thoughts? We'd love to know. Don't forget to subscribe to Turn 14 Podcast. All of our channels, we have a lot of exciting things planned for us. A lot of cool people that we'll be meeting with. So stick around for more episodes, and I guess we'll catch you next time.
Cool.
Sweet.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.